I have to share this because the chaos unfolding right now is beyond comprehension. It's overwhelming to even wrap my head around, but I'll step back and lay out the complete backstory of how we arrived at this point. I'm 35 these days. At age 30, I was hustling as a pizza delivery driver back in our small town, squeezed into a tiny studio flat while grappling with my direction in life. Not exactly a highlight of my existence, I confess, but I wasn't causing harm to a soul. I covered my expenses, and I figured my relatives might muster at least a shred of basic compassion. Boy, was I mistaken. The cookout took place in July, half a decade back at my folks' place. My father had rounded up the whole clan for the event. My mother, my elder sibling Elias, my uncle Rex, my cousin Nolan. Your typical warm weather reunion. Hot dogs and brews, nothing extravagant. I arrived post-shift, still clad in my delivery outfit since I lacked the buffer to swap clothes. That turned out to be my initial error. Father glanced my way as I entered the patio and declared to the group that I ought to steer clear of the barbecue pit lest I reduce it to cinders. He proclaimed it with enough volume for the adjacent yard's residents to catch it. Mother hovered nearby, clutching her cocktail stemware, and she burst into giggles. Remarked how at 3 decades in, still slinging pies, what a squandered breath of air. I attempted to chuckle it away, you see, to wave it off casually, but Uncle Rex chimed right in, declaring he wouldn't trust me to scrub latrines. Nolan, my kin, who's a couple years my junior, opted to join the fray and quipped that even the household pup had notched an achievement by mastering the sit command. Then Elias, my flesh and blood brother, lifted his ale vessel and proposed a salute. He toasted to evolution's pace and how it occasionally drags its feet. The lot of them erupted in guffaws, clustered in a ring on my parents' lawn, cackling at me as if I were a botched lab project they regretted sharing DNA with. I held back tears. I refrained from shouting. I avoided hurling objects or exiting in a theatrical huff. I simply remained planted, absorbing it all as I'd done throughout my existence with them. I wrapped up cooking their patties, wished them a fine feast, and departed. Headed to my flat and lingered there, dissecting every instant of that outdoor meal, looping through each phrase, each chortle, each expression etched on their features. Let me clarify something crucial about my kin. Father runs a modest building firm, not a giant operation, but it generates solid revenue. Mother never held employment, merely frittered away father's earnings on her whims. Elias labors under father, pulls in fair pay, struts around like a corporate whiz for overseeing the labor rosters. Uncle Rex is father's sibling, employed in the firm as well, perpetually positioning himself as father's chief ally. Nolan is Rex's offspring, employed sporadically for father while he allegedly sorted his path, though much of his energy went to reveling and leeching off his elders. They all condescended to me since I bolted from the locale post-graduation, ventured solo to the urban sprawl, flopped at a few ventures, returned penniless. In their eyes, I embodied the clan disgrace, the fellow who couldn't cut it, the flop who slunk homeward to ferry pizzas in the very community that recognized him. What escaped their notice was that my pizza runs weren't mere drudgery. I was observing, educating myself, scheming. Truth is, ferrying pizzas introduces you to crowds of folks. You survey homes aplenty. You glean insights on districts, land costs, purchasers versus vendors, the frantic souls. I began tuning in, devouring all literature on housing markets, tenancy oversight, funding tactics. I hoarded every cent possible, subsisted on scraps, and bided my time. 24 months post that cookout, I'd amassed sufficient funds for my inaugural realty acquisition, a modest twin unit in a district poised for revival. I refurbished it solo, leased it, channeled those earnings to amass more, snagged another holding shortly thereafter, followed by yet another. I logged 80-hour stretches juggling routes and makeovers, yet it didn't faze me since each acquisition marked progress in a blueprint I'd forged from the instant they jeered at me. I kept it sealed from my relatives, avoided flaunting it online, never breathed a word during mother's sporadic check-ins probing when I'd snag legitimate work. I merely kept low and persisted in constructing. 36 months following the cookout, I commanded 7 leased units. I ditched the delivery gig and pivoted to full-time oversight of my holdings. The revenue surpassed father's haul from his building outfit, yet I stuck to that cramped flat, that battered ride, maintained silence. I craved their ignorance for the moment. 48 months after the cookout, I uncovered an intriguing tidbit. Father's enterprise was faltering, not kaput, but undeniably wobbling. The building sector had evolved, larger outfits underbidding his proposals, his team slacking in productivity. I learned this via a lodger in commercial finance who let it slip, noting father sought enterprise funding and got rebuffed. I ramped up vigilance thereafter, probing discreetly among informed parties. Revealed that father had gravely embraced gigs that bled funds, the outfit leaking resources. He was too arrogant to confess it, paraded normalcy, but the ledger spoke volumes. That's when I targeted acquisitions in pinpoint zones, locales tied to father's deals, territories vital to his workflow. I wasn't outright undermining him, merely executing savvy placements. Should some placements incidentally complicate his maneuvers, well, that was commerce. 60 months post-cookout, roughly 8 weeks prior, dynamics intensified. Father's firm teetered perilously. He'd forfeited key pacts. His squad dwindled as payroll strained. Elias grew frantic, sensing the kin fortune veering off track. Mother rang after a near-year hiatus, inquired on my welfare, chit-chat, then offhandedly noted father's enterprise woes and whether I knew prospects for funding or alliance. I replied I was still navigating my chaos, would relay if suitable leads surfaced. She sounded deflated, yet held back. 7 days on, Elias phoned, claimed father required aid with land snags, permits and regulations, and did I grasp such matters? I claimed ignorance, extended best wishes, disconnected. He rang thrice more that span, I rooted to silence. Then Uncle Rex materialized at my flat. Unclear how he pinpointed my spot, given 2 relocations since the Cookout Sands kin notification. He rapped on a Thursday dusk, appeared uneasy, sought discourse. I stated busyness, began shutting the portal, but he braced it and urged its gravity. Regarding the clan, I permitted entry. He perched on my sofa, circled the crux for a quarter-hour prior to conceding father's venture neared collapse absent alteration. They craved funds. They sought networks. They required an adept in housing and tenancy as that underpinned their core woes. He noted father too haughty to plead, yet the full lineage banked on the venture's buoyancy. I queried his motive in confiding. He cited kinship and kin aids kin. I fixed him with a stare and queried if the cookout lingered in recall 5 years on. He fell mute briefly, then posited folks utter regrettable bits amid libations and merriment that I overreacted to banter. I bid him depart. He contested, accused me of permitting ego to shatter the lineage. I swung the entry and restated. He exited, yet not sans warning father grasped my holdings, grasped my assent somehow, and I ought ponder the caliber of male who nurses animus toward his progenitor. That unfolded 3 weeks past. Since mother dialed sevenfold. Elias materialized at 3 of my holdings, aiming to intercept amid audits. Nolan dispatched an extended dispatch via photo-sharing app, proposing rendezvous to reminisce bygone eras. Even father rang, absent for near a decade, deposited a recording suggesting supper anon. His tabs sync on updates. I've ignored them all. I've monitored afar as father's venture persists in descent. A pair more laborers bilaid last week. A prime patron yanked a pact yesterday. The venture holds perhaps 90 days ere utter demise, and therewith vanishes their domicile via secondary lien he'd drawn to salvage, their vehicles, their whole mode of existence. What remains veiled from them? 3 holdings under my banner sit in spots father yearns to erect for lingering pacts. The regulatory clearances he's battled half a year snag, due to formal protests lodged via a tenancy firm they ignore is mine. The enterprise finance entity that spurned his funding bid hosts my advisory tie, and though I shunned outright sway on their verdict, I withheld endorsement when quizzed on regional builders. I'm steering clear of illicit meddling. I'm merely entrenched advantageously, rendering their fixes thornier, and I've devoted half a decade ensuring this precise perch when they grasped their void. Yesterev, mother appeared at my flat. Puzzling how she traced me, but she lingered at the threshold upon my return from a holding review. She appeared wearier than memory served, fatigued, and upon sighting me, she rapid-fired on father's ailment from strain, how physicians warned his vital signs spiked perilously, how their long-time abode teetered. She urged my aid. She noted my evident prosperity and how kin ought buoy one another in trials. She claimed father rued his utterances, all rude, ages past, couldn't we advance beyond? I probed what father rued precisely. She cited any distress inflicted, banter overextended, scant backing for my paths. I queried her recall of dubbing me a squandered breath. She hushed and posited imprecise phrasing, perhaps misconstrued. utterances amid spirits. I assured perfect retention, conveyed flawless recall of that cookout's every syllable, conveyed the sting of enduring while my lineage vied for peak degradation. She welled up and termed me vicious, that clutching our half a decade was toxic, that rancor morphed me into an alien self. I bid her exit. She lingered initially, weeping and pleading their void, my sole savior, no regard for kin. I countered my lineage etched there regard crystal 5 years back. Now they could navigate solo as I once did. She departed, yet not sans vow father would dial direct, atone fittingly. I merely required granting redress odds. I sealed the entry and pondered her frantic visage, so alien from the backyard mirth with her stemware. This dawn Elias texted, urged instant parley, dire straits, existences imperiled. I held silence. An hour hence, another dispatch claiming his probe unearthed my holdings, my wealth, my ties, my deliberate thorn in father's side. He deemed me lineage wrecker, from malice urged shame. I held silence. Then midday an unfamiliar line rang. I picked up. Nalan sobbing, his sire risked ouster as father's venture cratered. They risked their roof too, indebted to father beyond repayment. He invoked cousinhood. Void of meaning? Aid once? I severed. 5 minutes on, my device erupted with barrages from them all. Mother on shattering her spirit, Elias on validating their prior verdict of my flop status, Uncle Rex on my malice and harshness, Nalan on disbelief I'd witness kin torment. Nary one proffered true atonement for the cookout barbs. None conceded the act's wrongness, save Mother's hazy, rue if distressed dodge. They're merely frantic and irate at my non-rescue. And the wildest twist, I'm scarce begun. This heralds the onset of my half-decade blueprint. They deem woes grave now, blind to the deepening abyss ahead. I've endured patiently, deliberately, tactically, and now all aligns per my design. They jeered amid my backyard stance in delivery garb. They quipped on evolution's delay as I tended their fare. They deemed me valueless, a shame, a jest to scorn and discard. Now they plead, and I scarce unleashed true strain. Update 1. Gratitude to all who perused and weighed in. Some urge detachment, permit their self-ruin. Others push total divestment. Frankly, both sides ring true. Yet truth be told, after half a decade's orchestration, I'm loath to bail as intrigue peaks. Thus, relay post's aftermath. A frenzied 3 weeks. The morrow after posting, father materialized at my flat direct. Saturday dawn, prepping for a builder huddle, thunderous raps echoed. I unlatched. There he loomed, flushed and perspiring despite early hour. He barreled inward unbidden, scanned my sparse setup and compact quarters, quizzed how I endured such amid purported riches. I stated my habitat is a fair none, probed his aim. He expounded 10 minutes on the building sector's slump, market rigors, how Titans soiled bids to pilfer his packs. Nary a nod to his own missteps or oversight. All foes external per his tale. Then crux, he grasped my holdings tally. He'd sleuthed my realty and tenancy webs, urged aid on regulatory snarls stalling gigs. Posited if I dialed favors, tugged cords, perhaps funneled funds into the venture, we'd rebound and I'd reap yields. I queried his basis for my aid. He blinked baffled, cited sonship, son's buoy sires. I queried the cookout's recall 5 years on. He dismissed with a flick all jest amid kin. I overfelt ancient barbs, urged resilience build-up. I countered no jests. He insisted so, mere frolic. I internalized via then insecurity. If thriving as rumored, I'd transcend it. Triumph skips vendettas over trifles. I sought atonement. He queried for what? Banter at kin fate. I cited dubbing me ruin bringer. He denied ruin, claimed warped recall, mere pit quip. I cited mother's breath squander. He denied her phrasing. I inflated or fabricated to fuel grudge. I chuckled outright, audacity staggering. He heated termed me juvenile. Ego-fueled lineage doom over null. I noted if null, no pleas in my quarters. He pivoted. On mother's fret, strains toll on her vitality. Elias' spouse and offspring reliant on venture solvency. Rex and Nalan kin too. Their fiscal woes ripple wide. I could avert agony, opt spite. I countered 5 years back my strife saw no kin lift. He deemed distinct. Adult choices to flee and solo strive. No bailouts for hardship. I queried divergence. He cited full lineage stakes, not solo folly. Discourse looped 20 minutes more. Each cookout site met denial, misrecall claim, or just dismissal I overweighed. At last, I cited prior commitment he must vacate. He claimed unfinished, I affirmed closure. He exited, sans warning of regret. Kinship eternal, I squandered it. Next week, Elias haunted my holdings diurnal, timed for my presence. Initial at a north side twin-unit refit. Mid-tile debate with builder Elias strode in proprietarily. Sought private parley, I stated all audible pre-builder. He fidgeted yet launched. Accused deliberate venture doom. Item placed to bar father's clearances. Levered realty webs to undermine pacts. I queried deduction. He cited coincidence overload. My units precisely where father built need. Regulatory protests from firm linked to me. I credited him excess. Acquired where yields sensible, protested where gigs dented my values. He cried deceit all aware. I sought proof. Silence then urged cessation of feign. I noted even if entangled, which unconfirmed, why my fixed duty. He cited father's youth boons, schooling funded, shelter granted. I recalled self-funding local college, exit at majority as home venomous. He accused history rewrite for victimhood. Truly I fled routine kin flux. I dismissed builder for later, post-exit probed Elias' true bid. He sought protest withdrawal, lender endorsements, perhaps 50 grand infusion for venture flow. Quid pro quo partial stake, yields on rebound. I queried 50 grand rationale in sinking ship. He denied sinkage. Mere dip capital sparks profit. I sought ledgers, absent on person, thus not to hash. He fumed unreasonable bar impossible stipulations to dodge aid. I noted ledger preview pre-fund as due care. He cited distrust of kin core issue. I queried cookout toast recall 5 years on. He affirmed routine fate. I cited evolution salute amid jeers. He paused, then libation jest, all jest amid spirits I overweighed. I noted non-atonement. He refused regret for ancient jest, absurd demand. I bid property clearance. He noted validation of cookout verdict. I restated, he vacated. 3 days on, Elias hauled Nolan to another holding. Driveway ambush, Nolan led. Sire's ouster loomed as venture folded, rent unaffordable sans parental aid, life's cascade. I queried my stake. He cited fixable by whim, choice withheld. I sought specifics. He urged venture stake, regulatory aid, webs for fresh pacts. Elias interjected, permit blocks mine, traced protests to firm with my advisory tag. I queried source. Elias cited sleuth parody to my blocks. I noted even if unconfirmed, no debt explained. Nolan cited kin avert flops. I queried loyalty locus at peak degradation contest 5 years back. Nolan rude if jests pained unintended. I cited dog parody recall. He deemed jest rueful misuptake. I noted non-atonement for act mere reaction regret. He frayed unclear on my wants. I sought cruel harm nod, not just misread dismissal. He conceded fine, cruel, stupid, regretted. Now aid. I queried sincerity or script for funds. Silence. Mother rang manifold daily. Rex voicemails droned kin duty pardon. Then a fortnight passed, dispatch from Leela, Elias' spouse, unknown prior, sought parley. I greenlit diner crossdown. Leela younger than guest, late 20s drained, awkward but needed family flux grasp. I queried Elias' tale. Sabotage via ancient grudge per him. I offered counter-narrative. She affirmed purpose. Thus cookout recount each facet barb guffaw, 5-year forge and emplacement tale. She hushed post-recount. Then Elias omitted cookout kin mistreatment. I queried relevant skip. She concurred utterly. Then startled. Elias eyed her kin's 30 grand borrow for venture spark. Her elders modest savers he deemed aid rebound. I urged against. She queried why. Venture doomed sans 30 grand. Tossing retirement hoard escalates casualties. She queried total non-aid. I cited non-enabling folly pattern, consequence evasion. Leela exited, yet 2 days on Elias' fumed text. Wife turned via me, marriage doom atop rest. Prior week mother ambushed another holding with cousin Vera, Rex's bride. Timed post-audit. Mother appealed residual honor. Vera noted spillover beyond cookout crew. Innocents like her, Leela, pained sans old rift ties. I queried Vera on Rex's 5-year barb recall. She cited Rex's vague fate discord, scant details. I recited verbatim. Mother interjected all utter regretables. Kin forgives, advances. I queried unidirectional pardon. She rued any pain inflicted. I noted feeling rue non-action rue. Vera shifted. Past irrelevant, now agony rife I could alleviate. Micah eyed college quit sans tuition, roof loss loomed. I queried if my fiscal buoy nullified my sentiments. She denied intent, urged broad vista. I cited pattern, worthless till needful. Mother wept, I'd hardened unrecognizably, coin warped me. I countered coin granted no option to prior tormentors. 2 days prior builder rang. Queries on me, holdings, fiscal truth from self-claimed brother, intrusive enough for alert. Yester Elias tome text. Unearthed my webs, protests mine, advisory ties, lone spurns, systematic sting. Non-coup meant reprisal, I queried terms. Tie my clearances, tenant woes, mirror my hell. I bid proceed. Dawn flyers at 3 holdings, landlord and kin feud, maintenance imperil soon. Tenant aid line, theirs proofless but certain. Precisely anticipated desperation folly. Unbeknownst, years prepped for surge. True strain scarce launched, they're fracturing. Update 2. Strap in past fortnight's unhinged frenzy. Kudos to forecasters of kin desperation lunacy. Spot on, frankly, underprepped for their derangement depths. Post flyers, tenant salvage mode. Full day per holding, a firm kin spat, but no housing hiccups, leases ironclad, reserves ample. Most gracious, yet maple twin pair queried rights group, eyed lease snap. Manager dispatched assurance missive, $50 rent waiver for flyer fuss. Outlay yet vital ties, all while pondering their idiotic panic play. That Eve City regs rang, queries on multiple holdings. Illegal ops claims, permit lacks, capacity breaches. Inspections queued fortnight's end for all 7. Instant deacon or father ploy for red tape tangle. All compliant, I'm no fool. Booked probes, amassed proofs, braced for their time squander on nil faults. Yet hours pilfered on their spite, 3 days on father reflat knocked. Civil rap. Unlatched, he altered, weary, aged, sought entry talk. Near refusal, curiosity one permitted. Sofa perch, minute hush. Then soliloquy on venture bootstrap, 70-hour grinds for kin uplift, all for superior youth. Proud legacy, sons to inherit, I queried drift. Grasped my animus depth to raise his edifice. I denied hate. Disrespect, no salvage interest in self-flaws, he equated, I distinguished. Hate needs care, mine ceased 5 years back, queried help price. Offered 50-50 venture stake. Equal veto, I queried failing firm appeal. Denied fail, dip interim buoy rebounds. I bid 3, cookout specifics nod wrong. Public kin atonement mirroring humiliation, ledgers for salvage viability, long hush. Second impossible weakens pre-kin respect loss. I noted my 5-year echo. He distinguished headship authority mandate. I queried authority over salvage. Unanswered. Pivoted public skip kin good collab. I queried care targets. Listed mother Elias Rex Nolan. I queried list quirk. Baffled, all humiliation crew now plea bail. He termed petty spite. I termed steadfast. He queried sense. Cited his tenets, acts reap, failure mocks, frailty jeers. Lessons aced, reapplied. He rose, unrecognizable spawn. I noted he scarce knew me unattended. Wordless exit. Moro Lila rang, Elia's ignorant hush. Home toxic, Elia's ire constant, spirits upped, vented on her offspring. Unclear path, I queried purpose. Sought lucid console advice. Urged exit if aggression brewed. Unaffordable solo, rent scrape, her wage scant for duo. Queried strikes. No yet wall pummels, tosses, fear trajectory. Document record, escape blueprint, queried Eliastalk. Feudal woes eclipse chatmens. She hushed, queried total non-help. No, queried post-fold fate. Figure as all do on income void. She termed chill. I termed grounded. Honesty thanks, disconnect. Pondered ripple sprawl beyond blueprint, Lilo offspring bystanders in non-tie fray. Fleeting overreach doubt. Then backyard endurance amid kin guffaw, doubt evaporated. Week prior Rex Nolan ambushed holding solo walk post vacate. Rex led, ire novel. Vindictive upstart fancying superiority. Eternal bungler shunning toil. Now rental shield feigning triumph. I bid end, merely warm up, truths incoming. Cookout jests easy target do softness, critiquefully sulk. Nolan, toughen intent, jest motivation. I queried breath squander uplift. Nolan, stern affection. Queried dog kin loving how. Nolan, victim twist. Rex, core flaw, kin superiority delusion, city grandeur scorn for their grit build. Broke return pizza humility gratifying. I queried admission grasp. Denied mouth filling, bid property clear. Rex. Unsettled no vacate. Phoned law for intrusion. Nolan, bluff, dialed. Vacated, Rex vowed enemy regret. 2 days on mother flat return, novel tack. Kidera album, sofa flip vacations, births fets. Once tight, joyful youth, bond frayed. I queried want. Son reclaim. I noted that son perished backyard 5 years back amid degradation, Darby. She termed theatrics. I termed photo guilt dodge for torment ignore. Wept unfit rearing. I noted scant rearing, coin squander disdain for substandards. Unfair sting, queried less than breath squander. Album snap, fine, breath mean, regretted. I queried regretact or block. Both, genuine rue yet aid need. At least candid at last. Queried pardon price. Unsold, yet bizaid conditional. Queered terms. Public cookout wrong specifics, non-vague. Father full rebuild helm, no metal. Kinties irrevocably shifted, no pretend revert. She termed severe. I termed non-me solve-free. Queered sufferwatch want. Wanted choice consequences as mine. Mother vacated, silent since, yet pester persisted. Deaconesque script spawned sham profile, slumlord exploitation blasts. Holding addresses, agency report urges. Hours falsity-proof takedowns, profile, maple twin car key scrape lot night. Hood duo, faces veiled. Tenant frayed, lease snap-eyed. Footage self-view, stance familiar hint. Pocketed repair, dual month gratis stay hold. Agreed, yet repeat gone, yester father rang. In-person mandate, overreach end pre-harm, I queered sense. High strains, folly acts, halt need. I queered flyers falses social vandal admit. Non-admit yet hypo kin outburst desperation corner push mine. I noted harassment non-blame me. He noted spiral miss adult de-escalate. I queered my adult duty. Cited my fixed power. I cited his. Bisfail own can act accountability. He termed willful thorn. I termed principle steady. Fine, public rue if extractive. I queered intent manip or true. Did intent matter if done? Yes, non-fake duresru. Queered want not suffices. Wanted grasp, cookout shattered kin bond, no rue deal mend. Non-biz hostage for rue. Genuine non-care on biz survive, shown non-care my strife. Long hush cruel spawn, self-shield from herders, disconnect. Dawn 17 kin misses, callback mother hysteria. Bank roof sees launch. 30 days triple miss payoff or total loss. My fault early aid avert, I queered mortgage duty. Coin ties suffer watch choice. I noted non-cause akin, close enough. Sorry loss, non-my solve. Monster scream, lineage doom, lifelong regret. Disconnect. Now perched, worse imminent. 30-day roof dick, hell barrage to force yield, prepped as 5-year blueprint. Final update. Final dispatch as saga crests closure, chapter seal imperative. Cheers to trackers, backers, sanity affirmers on 5-year grip. Past 3 weeks deranged zenith, walkthrough for prediction proofs deserved. Post-mother roof whale, escalations predictable pathetic. 30-tick spun manipulation carousel. Father 4 flat visits, vibe shifts. Initial haggle, 75 stake for house bail infusion. Ledgery bid, next time vow unkept. Second, mother duo, legacy plea, generations preserve soul mine. I noted 30-year solo start, stretch. Third, solo fury, suffer enjoy, power thrill. I denied joy, non-rescue of trash streeters. If non-enjoy, aid big person proof. Big person overrated past non-serve. Fourth altered. Father sofa weep actual. Lifetime build crumble halt unknown. Father biz person flop. Near sympathy till son abandon non-fathers. I noted fathers non-humiliate can pre. Different than self biz strain meaned wrong target vent. Queered explanation rue. Distinct. Non-same vacate bid. Elia's aggression peaked. Holding haunts tenant presence scene stir. Latiel slumlord family destroy cowardrental hider. Tenant gripes formal no entry warn. Fury amp. Local nets blast. Illegal rent exploit low. Lawyer cease damages 3 grand outlay vital. Leela dual rings interim. Initial. Elia's bizaxed work scant salary justify. Home day buzire fear brew docu-start per suggest. Yes lawyer sep chat. Second parents day vacate. Elia's threat offspring snatch vanish on perm leave. Lawyer alert urge. Queered worth deacon doom. Non-doom mine. Sirebiz own choices blame shift cease. Rex tenant direct my fiscal peril maint depositress triple early notice. Rex tort defame threat halt. Nolan Vera holding sympathy redux. Vera. College quit Micah roof loom Rex panicoin. Solade kincare null. I queered Nolan cookout ru actual prior non. Missupte crew non-act. Frustration fine. Dog means stupid regret. Queered wrong regret or Conray. Both. Honest at least non-alter. Vera youth folly punish unknowing. I noted 28 then non-youth. Hair split vindict. Harm min to dodge count. Post-exit foreclosure fortnight and quirk. Roof bank rang. Officer me claim payoff DDAD. Verify legit pre-proceed. Absolute fraud name abuse. Thanks clarify fraud flag. Caller details. Mail me mortgage info savvy seeming legit initial. Instant Elias. Lawyer police frauded theft report. Probe vow evidence scant tough. Phone trace urge. Desperation crime pivot clear. Holding sec up routine caution amp. 10-day remain full kin flat lot swarm. Father mother Elias Rex Vera Nolan. Phone barrage talk demand non-answer neighbor quiz my unit. Police stress harass call. Cop arrive mid kin sec brawl. Leave or cuff. Father kin affair talk need. Irrelevant property clear. Escort mid-mother building scream, killer blood hands, lineage doom, father shattered, Elia's rage, rest crushed. Cop statement post, charges restrain, not yet docu for surge. Messikin, resolution de-escalate ponder. Resolution, choice count accept unlikely. Final weak contact quiet intensity other. Maple step dead rod dawn drop. Hood figure 3 a.m. face veil report file car tire / holding park. Quad fresh 800 swap. Reports docu evidence can control loss. Leela final, Elia's biz break-in arrest post hour docs hunt unclear why. Bailout charges face, blame me, a Durley avert. Victim non-unlock blame logic. 3-day pre-fold unknown ring. Judgment against pick, father mother phone block dodge. Final pre-loss site solo come no fuss talk. Park agree near flat, public day witness. Age decade vision, bench sit ground stare hush. At last cookout rethink more recall than prior. Competitive cut jest Darby, my planet endure. Then funny deem, ashamed that day self. I queried self-ashame or con-ashame. Both, cruel grasp genuine yet undue-ish for lead here. Likely honest most ever, queried reconsider any. No, meet purpose, I lock grasp, non-coin biz land, truth, garbage treat no loyalty expect need time, grasped yet reality loss unchanged. No change, supposed do. 5-year broke return echo, figure, adult hard no bail dip. Bitter laugh, learned well unintended, rose, rue everything, cookout, subfather, kin treat permit, new non-matter meant, believed rue non-fix, nod walk-off, final sight. Fold executed, parents 30-year roof lost. Cross down modestrant shift, mock target locale. Biz bankrupt 2-week post, Rex job void roof sell, via apparent state relocate. Elia's charges misdemeanor tres prob, Leela divorce file offspring prime last. Elia's warehouse scrape child support Cardwell interim. Nolan parentrent return. Retail gig college revert nix mother call cease. Elia's finale text name barrage happy family doom hope. Silence held truth non-happy. Non-celebrate suffer non-vindicate loss feel. Chiefly weary void mournful end. Yet choice non-regret alternative. Enable reward act cruel con null teach. Commenters far push big person kin eternal perspective honor disagree. Kin non-unlimited hurt chance. Blood non-act con dodge. Others insufficient active ruin urge. Disagree non-destroy own choice destroy. Non-save choice void boundary set stuck. Self-shield proven herder toxic harm non-enable. Con brutal uncomfy mournful watch. Yet vital. 5-year backyard planted amid degradation contest kin. Failure jeer struggle mock worthless view clear. Shifted relation loyal funda. Now their backyard version month spread minute. Despair struggle feel while help watch. Act con grasp excuse to spur non-care. Learned or blame me null why grasp or cruel vindic deem still frankly indifferent now. No boundary set self-guard toxic non-enable soul need. Saga whole. Kin cookout humiliate 5-year now choice price pay. Some justify deem some awful fine opinion right me all done. Forward sans glance.